In the 33rd year of the last century, amidst the Great Depression, when hope seemed a luxury and faith in the future a naivety, the authorities of the United States made an unprecedented decision. Editions of one of the decade's most influential books were withdrawn from sale. The book in question was The Master Key System by Charles F. Haanel. This act, outwardly appearing as an attempt at censorship, only underscored the profound, almost mystical influence Haanel's work exerted upon the minds of men. The book was forbidden not for political undertones or social sedition, but, as some surmise, for its too potent, too direct revelation of principles capable of altering human destiny. It taught of the power of thought, of the creation of reality, and suddenly itself became an object of reality's manipulation, vanishing from store shelves, yet not from the consciousness of those who had managed to touch its pages. Its influence cannot be overstated. It was the Master Key System that became one of the cornerstones for Napoleon Hill in his legendary work Think and Grow Rich, which in turn inspired entire generations of entrepreneurs and thinkers. Earl Nightingale, one of America's greatest motivational speakers, acknowledged that it was Haanel's ideas that shaped his worldview. Even in our time, more than a century later, the echo of these teachings reaches the broadest audiences, resonating with figures such as Oprah Winfrey, whose own journey to success largely parallels the principles set forth in the book. How is it possible that a work, originally intended for the few, for the chosen, for those who seek the true key to mastery over their lives, became so comprehensive and, simultaneously, so controversial that it was once effectively withdrawn from public access? The answer lies in the very essence of its message, a message concerning the boundless potential of the human mind and the laws governing its interaction with reality. Charles Francis Haanel was born in the year 1866 in St. Louis, Missouri, in an era when America was experiencing a vibrant flourishing of industrialization and the formation of new economic elites. His childhood and youth coincided with a time when belief in man's boundless possibilities was not merely a slogan, but a driving force. He was a vivid representative of his time, a man who did not merely dream, but actively constructed his reality. Haanel was no theoretical scholar or reclusive philosopher. He was an entrepreneur, a practitioner, a man of action who built a financial empire from the ground up. His path to success commenced with ordinary yet persistent steps. He worked in various capacities, gaining experience and understanding of business mechanisms. In time, Haanel founded and presided over several companies, including the renowned Continental Commercial Company, which became his flagship. Under his leadership, this corporation expanded to encompass diverse sectors, from mining and real estate to manufacturing and banking. He was one of those rare individuals who perceived opportunities where others saw obstacles and possessed an unyielding will for their realization. By the dawn of the 20th century, Charles Haanel was already a millionaire, his name associated with success and prosperity. Yet, unlike many of his contemporaries, he did not cease at his accomplishments. His interest lay not solely in the external trappings of wealth, but in the inner mechanisms that had led him to this success. He began to deeply study philosophy, psychology, ancient teachings, and modern scientific discoveries, endeavoring to uncover the universal principles underlying all achievement. It was these inquiries that led him to the creation of the Master Key System. In the year 1912, long before the concept of distance learning became pervasive, Haanel first introduced the Master Key System as a 24-week course, disseminated by mail. This was not merely a collection of advice, but a meticulously structured program designed for the gradual unfolding of man's inner potential. Each week offered a new lesson, new exercises, which the reader was to master and apply in practice. Haanel's target audience was not the broad masses, but rather enlightened entrepreneurs, industrialists, bankers, those who had already achieved much, yet sought new horizons for their development and influence. Among his clientele were individuals shaping the economic landscape of America at that time, and they found in his lessons something far greater than mere business strategies. They discovered the key to mastering their own minds, to governing their thoughts, and, consequently, to governing their reality. It was this practical applicability substantiated by the personal experience of Haanel and his students that imbued the master key system with such extraordinary power and allure. Today, more than a century later, we turn to the 18th lesson of the master key system, which is dedicated to the law of attraction. And here we encounter one of the most astonishing paradoxes. Charles Haanel formulated this principle in the year 1912, 94 years before Rhonda Byrne presented her version in the film and book The Secret. And he did so without any occult flourish. With mathematical precision and clarity, his approach was profoundly rational, almost scientific, devoid of mysticism, yet imbued with the deepest understanding of universal laws. Haanel's central thesis is simple and simultaneously revolutionary. The mind is endowed with the capacity to create and automatically interacts with the object of thought, bringing it into manifestation. This operates with mathematical precision, like gravity. Like attracts like, Haanel asserts. We receive not what we want, but our own, that which we have created by thought. In these words lies the quintessence of his teaching. He speaks not of passive desire or of magical invocation. He speaks of the creative power of thought, of how our mind does not merely register reality, but actively shapes it, entering into an invisible, yet potent resonance with the images and ideas we hold within it. A critical condition, emphasized by Haanel, is as follows. The consequence will not manifest until the seed has been sown. To merely want is insufficient. One must mentally sow a specific image. This is not simply a play on words. It is a fundamental distinction between passive dreaming and active creation. Desire, according to Haanel, is akin to the wind, which may blow in various directions. It is inconstant, scattered, and often contradictory. But a mental image, clear, distinct, and steadfast, is like a seed cast into the fertile soil of the subconscious mind. It takes root, begins to grow, and inevitably bears fruit. Without this seed, without this specific mental form, the law of attraction lacks an object for interaction, lacks a form for manifestation. This principle, so clearly expounded by Haanel, possesses deep roots in ancient wisdom. Long before the advent of modern scientific concepts, humanity intuitively comprehended the interrelation between thought, action, and outcome. In the Epistle to the Galatians, part of the New Testament, it is stated, "Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." This biblical principle at first glance appears a simple agricultural observation, yet its profundity extends far beyond the fields. It speaks of a cause and effect relationship that operates not only in the physical world, but also in the realm of thoughts and intentions. If you sow seeds of kindness, you shall reap kindness. If you sow seeds of envy or malice, you shall reap the corresponding fruits. This is a universal law, independent of belief or disbelief, operating with the inevitability of a natural phenomenon. A similar principle underlies Eastern teachings, where it is known as the law of karma. Karma is not fate, not predestination, but a cause and effect chain of actions, thoughts, and words. Every action we take, every thought we conceive, every word we utter creates a specific energy that returns to us in one form or another. This is not punishment, but a natural consequence. The law of karma instructs us in responsibility for every manifestation of our being, for all that we emanate inevitably returns to us, shaping our destiny. This is an echo of the same principle that Haanel formulates as like attracts like. Still deeper in antiquity, we find parallels in Hermetic philosophy, attributed to the legendary Hermes Trismegistus. In the renowned Emerald Tablet, one of the foundational texts of Hermeticism, we read, "That which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below, to accomplish the miracles of the one thing." And while this phrase is most often interpreted as a connection between the macrocosm and the microcosm, it also contains within it the principle of correspondence and resonance. In alchemy, the concept of similia similibus like by like exists, which reflects the idea that to influence something, one must use something similar. This is not magic in the common understanding, but a profound comprehension of the laws of resonance and interconnectedness, where one form of energy interacts with a similar form, amplifying or altering it. Charles Haanel, being a man of his era, endeavored not merely to recount ancient truths, but to substantiate them from a position akin to scientific understanding. He perceived that these laws operated with the same inevitability as the laws of physics. In modern science, decades later, begins to find empirical corroboration for his intuitive insights. Let us take, for instance, the research of Richard Wiseman, professor of psychology at the University of Hertfordshire in London. In the year 2003, he published the results of his extensive study, The Luck Factor, in which 400 individuals participated. Wiseman divided them into two groups, those who considered themselves lucky and those who considered themselves unlucky. He discovered that the difference between these groups lay not in mystical fortune or ill fate, but in entirely specific patterns of attention and openness to novelty. Lucky individuals were more attentive to their environment, more open to new experiences and opportunities. They noticed what unlucky individuals simply overlooked, being focused on their problems or expectations. This is direct confirmation of Haanel's thesis. Our mind, by focusing on a specific image or state, begins to perceive the world through the prism of that image, discovering corresponding opportunities. The research of Barbara Fredrickson, professor of psychology at the University of North Carolina, also sheds light upon this mechanism. In the year 2009, she presented her broaden and build theory, according to which positive affect, that is, positive emotions, expands peripheral vision and the detection of opportunities by 30%. Put simply, when we are in a state of joy, interest, or gratitude, our brain operates differently. We become more open to new information, more creative in seeking solutions, more capable of seeing potential where, in a negative state, we would perceive only a dead end. This is not merely a good mood, it is a physiologically confirmed mechanism that literally broadens our field of perception and renders us more receptive to those opportunities that correspond to our inner state. And here we approach one of the key neurophysiological mechanisms explaining Haanel's ideas, the principle of operation of the reticular activating system, or RAS. The RAS is a kind of perceptual filter in our brain, responsible for sifting through the immense stream of information flowing in from the external world. It allows through only that which it deems important or relevant to us. When we focus our attention upon something, our RAS tunes itself to seek out that information. A classic example: you decide to purchase a black car. Suddenly you begin to notice black cars everywhere on the roads. There are no more of them. Simply, your internal perceptual filter has shifted, and now it actively distinguishes this particular object from the general flow. This mechanism perfectly illustrates how the sown seed, a clear mental image of the desired, begins to operate within our subconscious mind. The mind does not merely want, it begins to actively seek confirmations and opportunities for the realization of this image in the surrounding reality. It tunes our perception, rendering us more sensitive to those signals that we would previously have ignored. This is not magic, but a subtle calibration of our inner compass, which guides us toward the desired goal, making us lucky in the Haanelian sense of the word. Thus, Charles Haanel, decades ahead of his time, proposed a system that finds corroboration in both ancient philosophical teachings and modern scientific research. He did not merely speak of the law of attraction as a mystical force, but described it as a universal, mathematically precise principle, operating through the mechanisms of human reason and perception. His 18th lesson is a call to the conscious creation of one's reality, to the understanding that we are not